Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is Tyra Omilade, your Goddess Guru, your sister friend. And you know I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess-centered lifestyle. Y'all, it's time for the goddesses, the jihad, to go on ahead and get together. Let's do our thing. All right, here we go. Dance, sister, dance. Hey, queen. Give me a shoulder shimmy. Lean it forward. And back. Let's dance. Hey, queen. Woohoo! Party, party, party. Hello, Minister Ocean Kimmy. Sure, Misa. Hello, Catherine. Catherine. Hello, Vicky. Welcome, Queen. All right, what's those hips, Minister? You working it? We like to have fun here at Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. All right, let me take the music down. Woo. How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing, queens? Let me stop the music, conserve my internet. Y'all know how they be tripping. How's everybody doing? I'm back today, doing my best to get back into the swing of things. Woo! 2023. It's not done with me yet. I don't know about you, but 2023 is not done with me yet, apparently. Just want to welcome you all. Hello to the hashtag replay queens for whenever you all are here. Do y'all have something to drink? Don't forget your morning beverage. I needed a little inspiration today, so this is the one. Y'all have seen me drink out of this one before. Be the one who was brave enough to go after her dreams. Yes, yes, yes. Drinking water right now. I want to just kind of do what we have done in the past here, which is look at a little bit of the astrology. I want to take us through a mindfulness, just a brief mindfulness practice, and drinking cold water. Shamika was like, let's not get it confused with anything else. Let me see here. What are y'all seeing off to the side? Okay. I want to look at the astrology, do a mindfulness practice. And I thought we'd get back into a happy pocket full of money also. And yesterday I never came back, but I want to talk about my dad's chart. I kind of need to do it where I'm a little bit displaced. So I figured if I came here and looked at it, maybe it would help me to be able to see something. But I did find something that I think is part of the issue. Yes, I'm so glad you're here also. Good morning, miscellaneous AV. How are you, queen? I think what I want to start off with right now is the mindfulness. I want to just go on ahead and do that. I decided, oh, hold on. I have not gone live on Instagram. Okay, Instagram. Hello to everyone there. But I want to do a mindfulness practice that has to do with just kind of calming the nervous system. My nervous system is most certainly activated right now. And um, yeah, I'm finding that, man, the world needs more mindfulness right now. So we can go on ahead and do that. And then we'll move into everything else, which is just a little bit more heady, but maybe this will put us in a really good spot. So what we're going to do right now is, ooh, excuse me, if you would just go on ahead and um, just get yourself comfortably seated wherever you are. Maybe you're standing. You just want to just kind of adjust your body and begin to feel comfortable. And also, we want to begin to put ourselves in a relaxed state. So maybe checking your shoulders. You can even shrug your shoulders and then drop them and take in a nice big deep breath and exhale. When you're ready, you can lower your gaze, close your eyes, maybe have your hands resting someplace that feels nice and relaxing to you. And also just going ahead and become aware of your body, just noticing what's in your body. A lot of times we just are on the go so much that we're able to tune out whatever's going on in our bodies. So I just encourage you to just do a quick body scan, just taking note of what you're sensing in your body. Do you feel any pain? Would it be helpful to take a deep breath and breathe into that pain? Or maybe it's not pain, maybe it's discomfort. Maybe you notice that you just tense and you can just take a few deep breaths to help yourself relax and release some of that tension. We'll release even more as we continue to go through our mindfulness practice. And so, what we're going to do right now is we're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouths. This is, it helps to bring in more relaxation into the body. You want to take a big breath in through your nose. Now breathe long, slow, deep breath out through your mouth. Let's do that again. Big breath in through your nose and a long, slow, deep breath out of your mouth. And as you do this, I want you just to continue to take note of how differently are you feeling with each breath. Again, in through your nose, long, slow, deep breath out of your mouth. We're going to continue with that pattern, but keep your belly soft. You want to just relax that belly and just take that big, deep breath in through your nose, down into that belly, and then exhale as that belly softens down even more. This is called soft belly breathing. In through your nose. Take it all the way down into your belly. And as you exhale, let that belly soften, soften, soften. Really releasing all of that oxygen out of your lungs. Again, in through your nose. And soften that belly. Exhale. And one of the benefits of this is it helps to activate the vagus nerve, which helps to promote relaxation and it calms down our central nervous system. In through your nose. Long, slow, deep breath out of your mouth. And you can continue with that pattern. I just want to share with you that when we breathe like this and we activate that vagus nerve, it can turn off the fight or flight response. And sometimes that response is activated by something that may not be in imminent danger, but just watching something on TV or the internet that might disturb you. You've heard some news that might, from people that you know that might disturb you. Or it could be you have, something did happen and you feel like your life was on the line and that fight or flight freeze system got activated. And so this is a way to deactivate that so we can turn on that parasympathetic nervous system and feel that calm. Just keep going. Allowing your muscles to relax, letting all that breath out. Maybe as you inhale, you could say soft. And as you exhale in your mind, you can say belly. Just continuing to inhale through your nose, long, slow, deep breath out through your mouth. And if your mind wanders, you can just come back to my voice, or you can just bring your focus and your attention back to your breath, especially using those words. Inhale, soft, say the word soft in your mind. Exhale, say belly. No judgment if your mind wanders. I'm going to just do two more. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Soften that belly. One more. Inhale through the nose. Long, slow exhale through the mouth. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. You just want to bring your attention back into the room and notice how you feel, what's changed. Just take note of what difference it feels in your body, how differently it feels in your body and your mind, your emotions. And remember, you can take this practice with you everywhere you go now. This is just a reminder. Beautiful. Oh, Paulette, I was just thinking about you. Hello, good morning, Queen. How was that for you all? Cup of Shango for Minister Ocean Kimmy. I feel better. I'm telling y'all, my nervous system has not come off of like back into full calmness since I've been back from Mississippi. So I was like, I need to do something to help calm me down a little bit. Very good. Happy to hear that was helpful, Catherine. Okay. Okay. Whew. Okay, queens. I would love to hear from y'all. How was that for you? And I know sometimes it's a little bit of a delay. I want to go on ahead and start looking at the astrology. Let's look at the astrology. Okay. So how was that full moon for you all yesterday? Um, I would say that the full moon for me was beautiful. I stopped my whole life about 30 minutes before the actual moment of the full moon and just started. What did I do? I know I did a Ho'oponopono, went through a Ho'oponopono healing exercise or meditation. I was listening to something else too. It was like I just did something that was about clearing and healing and forgiveness and gratitude because the full moon happened in my ninth house from my rising sign, It happened in the 5th house from my sun sign, and it happened in the 3rd house. So that was one of the reasons I was for my moon, excuse me. So that was one of the reasons I was working on just being in my mind, being in my head, being in my soul, meditation, and just yeah, I just allowed myself to be quiet and to see did spirit bring me anything. And I just want to remind y'all, like what I mentioned yesterday, you may not have seen anything significant come through yesterday. So give it 2 weeks. But I also want y'all to remember you get to work with this moon for actually another 6 months. So you can use this moon to like tie up loose ends. So kind of think about what loose ends do you want to tie up? What do you want to complete with this full moon? Or you can use this moon to invite more of the Cancerian energy, self care. I think women constantly need the reminder of self care because you know, we care for people and others so much. It's just sort of how we naturally flow and vibe. Some of it is how we're programmed. And so, what reminder is this moon giving you about taking care of yourself? There's an Odu in Ifa. It is called Ogunda, as a matter of fact. It has to do with Ogun, the warrior would be, it's amazing that it's Ogun. But one of the things that is said in Ogunda is that you need to take care of home first. And so what I always tell people is home is whatever is important to you because it's not always about just the home and the family. It's about whatever is home to you. So home is whatever it is that you're responsible for at work. It is definitely the family. Home is you. And so Ogunda says, when you take care of home first, it keeps you more in alignment with your destiny. So it's so important for us to focus on home first. This is what this moon, this beautiful moon, allows for us to do. And then you'll be more aligned with your destiny. You will find that you manifest more easily and effortlessly. You feel more on purpose and on task versus not focusing on whatever is home to you. Okay. So beautiful. Uh, ah, that's because I haven't been doing them. That's why I was like, I got to bring mindfulness back. So I'm happy you showed up today for mindfulness. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Calming and gave you focus. One of the things that I love about the parasympathetic nervous system being what we stay in the majority of the time is we actually can be more focused with the parasympathetic nervous system because when the sympathetic nervous system is on, the brain is clicking, click, 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 click. And because it's like trying to make sure it's keeping us safe. And so it's like, go, 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 right? Whereas when we're doing the mindfulness practice, when we are doing things like energy work to bring our system into the parasympathetic system, bringing that online, you will be able to get so much more done. So much more done. I guess it kind of goes in with that Ogunda um, uh, wisdom. Focus on home, focus on self-care, take care of yourself, and it will take you very far. So I'm happy to hear that. This is so in alignment with my focused intention for this year. Home. There's no place like home, huh? It's amazing. It's really amazing. So, yes, we had that full moon on the 26th or yesterday. So we're still in the full moon energy, to be honest with you all. So continue to take advantage of it. But one thing is for sure, and I want all the ladies who are in the YouTube membership to revisit some of the things that I've talked about with this Mercury retrograde because I think this Mercury retrograde is impactful because it is meeting so many planets. Mercury set up so many meetings um as it was moving direct, and now that it's moving retrograde, it's like we're doing a follow-up meeting, and then it's gonna do a third follow-up meeting, all right? And so whenever we have these 3 times that these planets meet, this is significant. It can create, um you can use it as an opportunity to create a certain outcome or to, um just to your advantage in some kind of way. It kinda all depends on where it is in your chart. But one thing is for sure, Mercury square Neptune, this is not the first time this has happened. So this is the second time Mercury is squaring Neptune. One thing I will say about that is we do have to be careful of falling for a lie or gossip. You know, we have to make sure we don't fall into gossip, say, for instance, or we have to make sure we don't get scammed or someone's trying to get something over us. Neptune and Pisces, it could be a lot regarding lies. And then Mercury is talking, you know, and so that's why it's kind of like we have to make sure that we stay on top of not falling for the okey doke. And it could be you fell for something, but with this one, it's like something is starting to kind of come to you about, oh my gosh, I fell for something and um it's it's not true, or you know, you just fell for something, but maybe you're not totally out of it until Mercury meets Neptune again next month. We don't have too many more days of Mercury retrograde. Okay, but we are here, so let me stay in the moment. We just did mindfulness, Tyra. So the other thing about Mercury square Neptune is it can create fogginess. It can create this energy of, and you know, it kind of goes with this moon in Cancer. It's kind of like, I just want to relax. I don't want to be doing all of that. So it could be something like that going on for us. So if you feel that way, don't judge yourself. Maybe you have to kind of do the work, rest if you have to get some things done. But if you can take a break, that would be a good thing to do. Mindfulness, here we go. Bringing back mindfulness today. This is definitely this energy that's kind of like, what can you do to calm your mind? What kind of healing can you bring to your mind? Can you spiritualize your mind more? But it might come through you kind of realizing, my mind is just like a runaway train. The other thing about Mercury square Neptune, where it is right now, is it could be, it's like you're dreaming, but I say write the dreams down. Don't take any action on them right now. Once Mercury is out of retrograde and goes back over Neptune, let's see when is it going to go back over Neptune. It's going to go back over Neptune the January 7th, 8th, and 9th. I'm going to give you all those dates. When Mercury goes back over Neptune, or meets Neptune again, I should say, January 7th, 8th, and 9th, you know, see what comes up for you around then. And then, you know, after that, Mercury is moving on, and you'll have more clarity about what this actually meant. Like, especially if it's like some dream, some big grand scheme or whatever, you know, it might be like you get the last little bit of it, or you can kind of realize, is this like something I really can do? Or is it, I don't know, maybe it's sort of like you want to get that guiding principle. I will say a lot of the energy that we've been experiencing in this last week, it's just been so good for the end of the year. And I think that this can kind of help you to see, maybe I was a little bit too limited in 2023 in this way of thinking. Maybe there's some limiting beliefs, and this Mercury square Neptune is going to kind of help you to maybe get them dissolved. But you'll have to kind of be able to see them first, and then see what is the new way you want to go, a new direction, a new vision. Or it could have been like you thought you had the right way of thinking, the right belief system, and now you're just kind of like, I need to adopt a new belief system, one that's more expansive. Something like that, okay? Um then we have the sun trying Jupiter, which is definitely this energy that is about, now this is a blessing. I do think even Mercury square Neptune, especially combined with this sun square Neptune, can bring an energy of a blessing, a miracle. I'm calling that in for my dad right now. Can bring a blessing or a miracle, especially regarding the body. If you need some money, this could help you with money, resources, material, something material that you might need, because both of these planets are in earth signs. So it could bring, you can materialize something with this. It could bring an opportunity, especially one that has to do with, it could be career, like an opportunity to make money through your career, or let's see here. I even think that it could bring some opportunity regarding like your family lineage, because both of these signs that are there, it has something to do with the family. And so it could be that. Now another one is it could be starting a new cycle of making money, like money making opportunities. The reason I keep bringing up money is because Jupiter is in Taurus, which is about money, and the sun is in Capricorn. What Capricorn do you know that's not about that cha-ching? All right. I ain't never met a Capricorn that is like, oh no, money means like literally nothing. That I know they exist because somebody's gonna say, oh, I'm that Capricorn. But for the most part, most Capricorns, they about those coins, honey. But with Capricorn, it's like I'm willing to work hard for it. I'm willing to maybe take a tried and true. I can tell you this, Sun trine Jupiter, this is not a get rich quick scheme that would come your way. It would be more of something like a more traditional opportunity and path, one that many people have taken that actually works, but you'll have to kind of put your elbow grease in there. Hey, Mystic Storm, welcome. How are you, Queen? Glad you're here. So yeah, this is again this blessed energy of this Cancer full moon, just so much opportunity. I will say Mars square Neptune is already in effect today. All right. So Mars square Neptune, we really and truly need to just be oh, this is interesting. Yeah, we need to we definitely need to be cautious of being scammed, okay? Um, Now this one might be like you need to do some yoga, go work out in the pool or something like that. Do something with water. But yeah, there's a lot of to a certain degree scammy energy right now. Now Mercury is conjuncting Mars. Let me pull up today's chart. I like looking at it. Today's planetary positions. So, the reason this is so is just because, again, we have these planets in Sagittarius and Pisces. This is mutable energy, so it could just bring up a lot of scammy type of stuff. So just know you might need to be a little bit on your P's and Q's. You might need to make sure that you are checking and double checking, like when you're leaving, do you have everything with you? Make sure that you take that time to slow down. We're still in Mercury retrograde. So that energy of slow down is important. Take your keys and say, okay, I'm putting my keys here. I'm that person that will be moving so fast, I can't remember where my keys are. So if you're like me, because I'm a Pisces, it's like we have to put extra checks in place. Sagittarius might be that way. Virgos, maybe not so much, and Geminis might be that way. So it's like we have to be cautious with that. And the other thing I was gonna say, okay, so Mercury meeting Mars in Sagittarius. This is significant, in my opinion, anytime we have the planets meeting one another. And this is the second time this has happened, even though I think they met before in Scorpio. I don't think they met. This might be the second time, the first time they're meeting in Sagittarius. But it's like we get an opportunity for a new beginning. And again, is this energy of being able to see the vision. So, what is the vision that you have for your life? I think this is really important. I also think that it's important for you to um, set up a cycle of uh, it could have something to do with communication, siblings. It could have something to do with your lifestyle and just like your day-to-day routines and operation. Minister Ocean, can we mention focus? kind of like how do you get your mind focused on the vision? These are the kinds of things that you want to be thinking about. It could have something to do with traveling. So some people may be wanting to, maybe this is a good time for you to start thinking, I'm going to travel more. And where are you going to travel? Maybe it's going to be international, but it could be short trips where you're doing festivals, doing something fun. It also has to do with, your belief system, so it could be it's like a new belief system is gonna get a kickstart. I'm all into conjunctions right now. I've been taking a class with Victor, and I am like, these conjunctions, whenever we have planets meet, it is truly a new opportunity. Yes, it is beautiful to have our birthdays. It's beautiful to have Venus return, if you know that. But every time these planets meet in the sky, say for instance, let's just go back to when Mars met the sun in Scorpio. Y'all remember, I talked about this yesterday. When Mars and the sun meet, every 2 years, they meet in the sky. It is setting up a new cycle. And like the previous time that they met, it was in Libra. And so the Libras were now having to kind of like be on their own and take initiative. And then prior to that, and also it brought up a lot of Libra topics. And then prior to that, it met in Virgo, which meant it was creating definitely a new beginning for Virgos. But in your Virgo house, it like launched off something new when the Sun and Mars met there, right? So we want to take advantage of these conjunctions because they are opportunities to use to do something that that you want to make happen. So if you're feeling stuck in some kind of way, if you're feeling stuck in your belief system, if you feel like you have too many limiting beliefs, this is a conjunction that can help you to just set the intention because it won't happen again until maybe, well, this will happen again next month, but then after that, it won't be for about another 2 years because Mercury travels with the sun. It's always with the sun. So we're getting an opportunity to really jumpstart this Sagittarius area of our chart or the things that Sagittarius represent. Who wants to go back to school? Who maybe needs to refresh on something? Like I have to listen to my NLP classes on the regular so that I can remember, there's a lot that I've forgotten. I want to remember them so that I'll use everything that I've learned. It might be some certification. Maybe you need to go get recertified in this certification. For some people, this Sagittarius, it has to do with the thighs, it has to do with the liver, has to do with the blood. So maybe cleaning the blood, I should say. Maybe some of y'all want to start jump starting doing something about your body, or also the hips. I'm going to put the hips and the thighs all in there together with this one. So maybe you want to start doing something to help you with that part of your body or, that system in the body. The liver is like so important. And I know when I was studying yoga at one point, it talked about how unforgiveness, and I know it's different places, but unforgiveness is stored in the liver. And so it might be, even Sagittarius is like, who do you need to forgive? Is there a sibling you need to forgive? Is there a friend? Because Mercury is friends, siblings, neighbors, cousins, it's peers, your peer group. Is there somebody you need to forgive? Um, do you need to invite more gratitude into your life? So this is, in my opinion, significant, and it's Sag. Let's see here, Sag, Aries, Leo. So this Leo energy is pretty significant. Sag, Leo, and then Leo, Virgos. Oh, that's a nice little mix. Sag, Leo, Virgo. So the Leo piece is, what is it that you need to do to maybe have more fun? Or, maybe you need to like use your hobby, tap into something that really interests you more in the next 2 years. And Virgo, again, it goes back to this lifestyle. And, what is it that you need? Some of us need a guiding principle for health and well-being. So like for me, the example I'll give is Sometimes I'll just find somebody who talks about health. Like right now, my favorite person is Dr. Mindy Pels. And I'll just turn on a video. Nothing's going on. I'm just going to turn it on because she helps to give me like guiding principles. It's like this vision. I always think a Sag is something where you're looking up at this thing. And as you look up at it, you go in that direction. So it's like, do you need a guiding principle around health and wellness? And you're looking up towards it and you want to set that now. Maybe you haven't been on it, or maybe you need a new one or something like that. Um, if you want to publish a book, if you need to do more PR work, you want more PR work for you, this would be something that would be very, very helpful also. Okay. So I love this one. On the 29th, Venus is going to sextile Pluto. That's about empowerment. Both of those are money. Money, they have to do with money. So there's that money theme coming back in this, back into the theme. And so yeah, but I really want y'all to see that as a energy of empowerment. Maybe somebody's gonna come through and support you in some kind of way, and you'll feel more empowered. Or the other thing I really want y'all to do, and tell me how you feel about this when it comes to how you personally feel. Do you feel like you value yourself? Are you connected to your innate worth and value? Because this can help you to really imbue your energy with that, feeling that worth and that value. And you really want to have that worth and value come from within, and not, I mean, some of it is gonna kinda come from without because we're human, but you want the majority of your worth and value to be innate and inherent. You want it to be coming from within you, because if somebody decides they don't value you anymore, you do not want to be shooketh, okay? So you really wanna use this transit to help you tap into your inner innate worth and value. And it's kind of like maybe you can heal up a wound, because Venus, right at that point, is just about to leave Scorpio, and then she goes into Sagittarius. So it could be something that happened, and you're struggling with worth and value, and she's going to give you that last little balm, that last little healing balm to get it healed up as she meets with Pluto, where you can get a breakthrough of some sort. You can let go of something that's holding you back from that. And then she goes into Sagittarius, so it's going to kind of amplify the Sagittarius energy again, which is exciting. I love Sagittarius because it's fun. So I encourage you all to enjoy Venus being there, even with Mars being there. I think it'll be a good time. Sometimes Venus and Mars, they kind of clash with each other. They're polar opposite energy, but opposites, we need that to keep the balance. But this is definitely another good indication of we'll be future, we'll be thinking about the future. We'll be excited about moving into 2024. Um, it also changes wherever Venus is. So for instance, she's in Scorpio now. I don't know what fashion has looked like here lately, but Scorpio is gonna be the darker colors, more witchy look or goth or whatever, I don't know, but it's definitely this energy of people just wanna kinda wear darker purples, dark colors or whatever, deep reds. But then when she moves into Sagittarius, it'll be more of like fashion will look more Sag-like, so more citrus-like colors, or bright colors. Maybe even people become a little bit more cultural. So, and that's cool. I love that Venus is going to be in Sagittarius while we're still having Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa to everyone out there. Okay, so on the 30th, I remember Shamika asked about this maybe last week. Jupiter is going direct. So this whole week, with Jupiter going direct, Jupiter, anytime a planet is holding still so that it can either move forward or move back, it is very powerful So I want you to open yourself up to Jupiter bringing something to you. You know, it's a planet of wisdom. So it could bring some deep, deep wisdom to you. But again, it's in Taurus. Y'all, I say take advantage of it being in Taurus because Jupiter in Gemini, Jupiter is not the best in Gemini. So we want to take advantage of it being in Jupiter. It's not necessarily the best in, excuse me, in Taurus, but I'll take Taurus. Yeah, let's Taurus is manifesting. All right. Taurus is food. That's something else that could come through. Maybe you like have this revelation about how you're supposed to eat. You know, we were talking about self-worth and value. So Jupiter going direct, it might help you to just really open up to this wisdom that helps you to really embrace your worth and value. Um, and it's also about your values. And so maybe you're going to have some clarity about what you really value. But typically when I see a planet going direct, it's going to deliver something in the physical for you. Okay. Mercury goes invisible on the 31st, which is very normal. You know, typically Mercury. So because Mercury is visible right now, it just means that Mercury's energy is stronger for things that Mercury is good for, writing and communication and travel and siblings and friends and what else? Business, learning, teaching. What is Mercury not in charge of, baby? Mercury does everything. So yeah, I love that. That Mercury is visible now. It will go invisible. Not. It's very common. Very common. Okay, so let's see here where we are for January. Hello, hello. How are you? Hey, Queen Marat Rogers. She's on Instagram. Okay, well, maybe not. I don't know if anyone's on Instagram. Ooh, I didn't know I had this streaming. Hold on one second. Let me. Okay. So wow, we start the year out with we're starting the year out under this full moon in Cancer. I love this. Sometimes that full moon is on January 1 or just like right past it. I freaking love that moon so much. But we're also starting with Mercury going direct. Now it doesn't go direct until late that night. Okay. So to me, pretty much Mercury is going direct on the second. Even though I know it's officially on the first, we need to act like Mercury is going direct on the second because it's very, very late that night. Um, and then we're gonna have Venus square Saturn, which is it's okay. Venus square Saturn, it's all good. Let's see here. Why is Venus square? Oh yeah, because it's in she's gonna be in um Sagittarius at that time. So I just think that that one will kind of it can create a little bit of friction. It really can. Venus squaring Saturn, it could be somebody kind of like you kind of bump up against somebody. All right. It could be yes, Shamika. I love that. You're starting your job on the 3rd. I love how we are so aligned and attuned sometimes. It just everything is working in our favor. But yeah, Venus is squaring Saturn. So it could just bring a little bit of a bump up against maybe, you know, you feel like you're up against somebody who's a little bit more powerful, a little bit more little older. But I always kind of like anytime Venus meets with Saturn because it's like, baby, we're gonna get some stuff done. All right. We're gonna get some stuff done. You know, Venus is women, and so women might kind of like start that might be a day where we just kind of like I'm not taking it anymore and we just start pushing back up against you know Saturn is like what is tried and true, and so we might be pushing back up against anything that we feel like government or systems because Saturn can represent systems. It's in Pisces, so it might be something I was going to say religious. Yeah, could be something religious. um I also think that it might be a time where we're kind of like, I need to do more, I need to schedule more time off. Some of us might be on January 1st, like, oh man, I didn't realize how much I need time off. I need more time off. So it could be something like that. But I want you just to use that transit maybe to get some stuff done. That's how we want to channel it. Okay. Okay. So we will be in the new year next time I do this. So why did I put this on? I like it when Sunday is over here. Lotta got Sunday over here. Well, anywho, thank you, Lotta, for putting this calendar together because, baby, it makes my life easy looking at astrology. But I can tell y'all, Mars going into Capricorn. Can I get some snaps? Can I get some snaps? Okay, so let's just do a quick reading. Let's go on ahead and do that. I'm gonna do a 3-card reading, and I just want a reading that will help us through this next week as well, yeah, as we end 2023, start 2024. Y'all, my hope is to create it. When I had my first membership, I used to create this whole guide. It was like the all the wisdom you need for 2020, whatever the year was. I started it with 2020. Oh my gosh, it almost took me out. I got so sick when I put that one together because 2020 was rough. But I'm gonna do that. It's not gonna have the astrology in it, but I'm gonna do that and put that in my membership. I'm gonna create a video for the membership, but I'm actually gonna give the guide away. So I'm gonna get that done over these next few days. Um, yeah, because I want y'all to have something like I love having energy that guides me the whole year. On my vision board, I always do a reading for the year for myself. And every month at the new moon, I take time. You'll see me looking off to the side because I'll just look and see, okay, what energy was governing me or, at the top of the year. And it's like, okay, I see why things are going the way that they're going, or I see why I have these challenges. And sometimes it's a really lovely reading. And it's like, okay, things are really working in my favor. Okay, give me one more of this week. I love this reading for us. Oh my goddess. So this is the cycles card. I'm happy you're excited for excuse me, for 2024, Minister. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Mars return loading. Who has a Mars return? You have Mars in Capricorn, Mystic Storm. Girl, that's a good placement for Mars. Oh my gosh. Many blessings. Yes, as we transition into the next phase. Yes, good to see you too, Ia. Let me know. Are you still here? Are you coming here? Because I had meant to text you yesterday. I would love to see you. Okay, y'all. Okay, so what I love about this one is we are actually in Capricorn. So Capricorn is all about cycles. This is Nehushta. And oh my gosh, this card is all about being in transition. All right. And the ability to adapt, just like we talked about with that Cancer full moon. Are you able to adapt? Y'all, this is Jupiter and Capricorn. Look at this. Okay, I see you, Oracle. It says she swallows her tail, symbolizing renewal and regeneration through cyclical rebirth. So yeah, renewal and regeneration. What does that mean to you? How do you need to renew? How do you need to regenerate? One of the things that we want to do is create a pattern interrupt for 2024. You might want to create that now while we're in 2023. What is a pattern interrupt? It's a way to stop just because our subconscious mind will just get wrapped around. We do things a certain way. We think a certain way. So you want to create a pattern interrupt to stop the subconscious mind from just doing things rotely because that's what the subconscious mind likes to do. And so what pattern interrupt do you need to create in 2023? It's like, I'm not taking this into 2024. It's a new cycle starting. And I want you to go back to the solstice, which I was totally like in the hospital with my dad. So I don't really know what happened for anybody, but I want you to go back to that solstice. And I want you to think about what came to you because that was the beginning of a new cycle. And do you remember what it is? Do you need to write it down somewhere to remind yourself what cycle are you in so that you stick with it as we go into this new calendar year? How do you need to renew? How do you need to regenerate? How do you need to be rebirthed? So it says the order of the cosmos is clear by the movement of the stars and planet reflected in the seasons of change and rebirth on planet Earth. What does Capricorn season mean for you? That might be another way of looking at this. What does Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces seasons, what do they all mean for you? Because this is the cycle that we're in. We're in the for those of us in the northern hemisphere, we're in this winter cycle. So what does it mean for you? That's why I love that 90-day planning. Okay. This is a time of transition in your life. Be like Nehushta and let the current momentum transmute the old into the new. See where you're holding on to what you're holding on to in yourself and release the brakes so that the changes that bring the new form to you can come swiftly and easily without resistance. And it's interesting. I don't know if I have to look, but I think in the Happy Pocket Full of Money, it was kind of talking about that. Okay. So here we go. Mars and Venus in Capricorn. Wow, in the 8th house. I love that. I love that for you. I want you to look at that as an opportunity for big money to come to you. All right. Especially through all of your mystical services. I'm excited for you. Okay, here we go. I pulled, I love this one so much. Lilith, and she has to do with power. So do y'all remember the transit that I told y'all about? That's about us stepping into our power. We're going to revisit that. It is Venus sextile Pluto right here. So we'll start feeling that on the 28th. You'll feel it on the 29th. And well, we'll just say the 28th and the 29th because she moves in the Sagittarius right after she meets with Pluto. So the 28th and the 29th. Lilith is asking us to step into our power. Okay. And so this is the card where it's like, this is what needs to happen. So the question is, even though we hear this, what is it that you specifically need to do to step into your power? So she is the goddess of wanton sexual power who can never be overtaken or manipulated. And she wasn't willing to be subservient to Adam. And she brought agriculture to the people and is the protector of children and women in childbirth. And she flies above the shackles of this world on her wings of freedom. And so, it's like, what shackles can you take off of yourself right now, this next week? What shackles can you take off of yourself? How can you fly free? Her talent feet are her foundation of wildness and power. So the question is, how do you tap into your inner wild woman and let her come more to the forefront in your life this week? But I'm just going to even claim for 2024. All of us need more wild women energy to come forth. Most of us are not wild enough. All right. You want to tap into your power. What does that mean for you? How do you tap into your power? As you go about your day, what is it that you're doing to stay aligned with your power? It says Lilith's fiery, independent, airy spirit is without compromise, insisting through her very nature that women are beings of equality, answerable to no one. Y'all remember I told y'all that that Venus meeting Saturn, we might be rising up. We're gonna be like, I ain't taking it no more. Taraji, if y'all have heard about what Taraji is talking about, I'm proud of Taraji. Speak truth to power, Taraji. Okay. She is sexual freedom and expression, a leader who empowers others. So how can you empower other people over this next week? And she teaches you, check this out, to trust your own core power. A lot of us do not. A lot of us have so much doubt in our power and we do not take action. So, Aries is action. She represents Aries. And so one of the best ways to tap the power within is to take action in some kind of way. And I say is through doing something, creating a pattern interrupt, do something new, do something different. Some of that newness and differentness might be you're going to take a nap, even if you ain't cooked dinner for everybody in the house. Or you're going to call out from work and just trust everything will be fine till you come back. Whatever it is, it could be you're making a power move, within your business or career. Okay. It says, let's see here. In the full expression of your sexual energy and unbridled power of authority, you show uncompromising loyalty to your inner passion. Show uncompromising loyalty to your inner passion. This woman right here is telling us we don't let nobody sway us from our truth. Okay. Your own authenticity is at issue. This is the time to let loose the strength of your desire and focus on your goals to take you where you deserve to be. Be like Lilith. Okay. So the last one that I have for you all is the Ace of C's, ecstasy. Now, Ace is always a card that's number one. Okay. So there's something about newness in this card. And I believe that the two, when we do the two prior to um, the cycles card and the Lilith power card, it takes us to ecstasy. This is where we're headed when we do the other two cards. So it says, the beautiful goddess of ecstasy brings the powerful infusion of love. She is emotional breakthrough into new dimensions of feelings. And with all this Neptune energy, especially that Mars being square Neptune, I think we could get an emotional breakthrough. I do. Her halo mandala shines loving wisdom and the light of consciousness, permeating the emotional depths. And she brings cleansing, healing, and nurturance. So, this is what she wants us to do: open to abundant blessings that are breaking through the primal seas into your life and be uplifted to new emotional heights. I'm just thinking of the astrology. I guess that's all of that Neptunian energy, maybe even the Saturnian energy. There is an emotional breakthrough that we can get. What emotional breakthrough do you need? It says, love is all around you and flowing through you. Let this flow raise you in buoyancy to fully experience love's ecstasy. I think some of this Neptunian energy over the next week, we may feel a little bit of a block to love. So I want y'all to, um, allow the emotional breakthrough to happen. Can any of y'all share an emotional breakthrough? I know it's a lot to type in maybe, but have you ever experienced one where you were like, I need this emotion, like consciously, I need this emotional breakthrough, and it was allowed to happen? Now, sometimes an emotional breakthrough can come through something like tapping. Maybe you need to just let yourself cry. Sometimes when you start journaling, that emotion might come up and you can get it up and out because, it's just stuck. Maybe you need to turn on some music and dance. That happens for me sometimes. It'll be a certain sound to the music, and it's just like I can feel it moving me emotionally, and it'll bring up that emotion that kind of feels like, because when emotions are stuck, I want y'all to think about, can you relate to this? It feels like, for me, I feel hardened. I feel like tight. I remember at the top of 2020 when I was getting ready to turn 50, I was like, I feel like the world has beat me up so much that it was just like this hardness on the inside of me. And I was like, I don't want to feel that way. I want to feel soft. I want to feel supple. And a lot of it was just me moving that emotional energy. And it goes back to, when we were talking about the parasympathetic nervous system being more online than the sympathetic nervous system. When we allow ourselves to have this emotional breakthrough, that means our body, our system is not like tied up holding on to that emotion. having to deal with that emotion is able to release it and to let it go. And so that opens us up to be able to experience more of our power, to be, have a greater ability to make the shifts and the changes that we need to make as they come, even if it's a little uncomfortable, because we need to really, make it normal that success and what we want in our life, it comes with discomfort. It's just a part of what it means to be human. But when you are well, when you are nurtured, when you feel buoyed by love, as spoken by ecstasy, then you are willing to go on ahead and, weather that discomfort. So those are the kinds of things that we want to be thinking about over this next week. Shamika, I can relate to that 100%. It's been a while since I've had a breakthrough. I feel it bubbling up every now and then. So I know it's going to happen pretty soon. Good. Yes. Sometimes it's like we just have to get comfortable enough, get quiet enough. It's kind of like I can block out everything in my world and just let it happen, knowing that I'm able, actually, you'll be able to do more once, you let it come through. But a lot of times, yeah, it's like I need to know I can handle it. Sometimes that's why people struggle with that. Um, oh well, I'm gonna pull something else. Okay. So will y'all just kind of indulge me really quickly to show you my dad's chart? I want to just show y'all something that um hold on. I want to do something else real quick. So this is a prediction I want to make because I like helping us to see that what we see in astrology can help us understand what we see in the world. I honestly believe that Mercury um trine Sagittarius is going to be more talk about these universities. We're going to see more of this coming into the news. Like I'm not saying what was said was right or wrong with it was amazing to me that it was 3 women presidents of universities. One I know quit. I don't remember which school it was. The black woman at another Ivy League school, it sounds like they're trying to keep her there, but I think it's gonna be more of that talk coming out. We're gonna hear more criticisms. We'll hear it in the news. Um, Justice maybe kind of sort of things will be coming to universities, but also churches and religious leaders, because Sagittarius has to do with church or religion, not just church, religion and spiritual leaders. So I think that we'll hear more. And maybe some of this Mars in Sag is why we're hearing about TD Jakes, which maybe nobody cares. But I just, I look at everything like, why is this happening? And then I look at astrology to see, can I figure it out? I think the TD Jakes one is related to when Mars met the sun in Scorpio. And I don't know if y'all have heard of this, but TD Jakes, it was all these rumors out about him this weekend. Don't know what's going on now because I'm trying not to. I don't want to get too deep into the story because I'm actually neither here nor there about it. Um, but it could be Mars in Sagittarius could be kicking some of that off. But Mercury is the media, which is why I'm saying I think that we'll start hearing more about what's happening with colleges and universities and religion, and it could be any religion, honestly. I just live in a very Christian dominated place. So a lot of times I think I hear about Christians, but it could be any religion. So keep your eye out for that and let me know if you see anything. But also more news from abroad. I think it's going to be magnified, but it'll be more military type stuff too coming up. So we'll see what the media is going to really be focused on. I think it's going to be a new media cycle where we'll hear more stories about all things Sag. Um, and it has a Mars spin because Mars is going in there and it's just like cutting to, Mars is about authenticity, just like we talked about with Lilith. Authenticity, we cutting straight to the chase. Mars, straight no chaser. That's what Mars is, okay? And so, and it's like the police. It's the first one that's gonna come in and just be like, "All right, y'all, we coming in here. We're gonna take the report, and then Mercury's gonna come and report what Mars found, right?" So, but it's all working for things. It's gonna be for. It's supposed to be everything is working in our favor. So it's not to tear anything down. It's always ultimately going to make things better. All right. The TDJ exposure was very wild. I was just like blown away. I couldn't even believe it. Um I told my husband that's why I'm glad we got a nice little local family church for you cuz we don't need all this drama. Okay, so let's look at my dad's chart. Okay, y'all. So let's see what really stands out in this chart. So one thing is interesting is my dad, Uranus is a planet that somebody actually can have a Uranus return. My father-in-law had his Uranus return because I think my father-in-law was like, I don't know, he was older than 84 when he passed. And so if you make it to somewhere between like 82, 83, 84, it's right around 84, you'll have a Uranus return. And so I was kind of wondering if my dad was having a Uranus return because a lot of people having Uranus return right now, they have Uranus in Taurus. But my dad has Uranus in Gemini. So I was like, okay, it's not Uranus return. I tell you what, I just saw something new on here. But I'll come back to that. So it's not a Uranus return. So he's a Cancerian. I was like, okay, well, the eclipses are in his 10th and 4th house. So I figured something potentially could be going on with that. And one of the things I noticed is we have this north node. Where's the north node right now? The north node is at 21 degrees. So it just went over his Mars, which for a man, Mars is about their vitality, their body. So it's like something just hit him, it in his Mars. So in his body, but also what he's known for. And it's interesting because I called the dialysis place because we were trying to figure out did something happen at dialysis? What happened that has taken my dad's mind offline? And they were like, when he came, the first time went to the hospital, he um, he got out pretty quickly. And they said he came in one day and he was like disoriented, saying he needed to go to work. And it had something to do with the military, which my dad's not been in the military since I was a little girl. He was out of the military before I was 18. Um, so it's like maybe something got activated through this Mars. Let's see here. And by the same token, the Mars is opposite the South Node. So I don't know if that South Node was draining, if it's draining that Mars, if it's opposing that Mars. Um, so yeah, yeah. That's why I said I need to look at it with y'all because it's challenging. Uh the South Node is in the fourth house. And okay, so with the nodes being in the 10th and the fourth, definitely something new kicking off, something new popping off. And so, that the South Node in that 4th house, that's rough. If you a Cancer rising, that South Node in the 4th house, it is draining from that 4th house. And, it's a very spiritual sign. It's or point in the chart, and it's like release and let go and drain. And so, yeah, it's draining something with my dad. And I tell you, he ain't been at home much this month. He's been in the hospital. But, the South Node has been there since when did the nodes move? I can't remember. My brain has been reset with all of this happening. Okay, let's see here. What else? Okay, so what I found also, I want to go back out to these outer planets. Um, this Neptune, this is what I really want to show y'all right here. This Neptune, look at where Neptune is. Neptune is at 25 degrees of Pisces. That's where it is in the sky right now. And it's not retrograde, it's already direct. Let me just make sure. Neptune is direct. Okay. So Neptune has been going over, or okay, my dad's Neptune is at 26 degrees in the third house. All right. 26 degrees of Virgo. So my dad is having a transit that all of us will have at about 80 years old. Because once I found this is the one that I've never looked at before. I didn't look at it for my father-in-law. I don't think I was looking at his chart when he was 80. So this is a transit I've never seen before because I don't typically read for people who are this old. So this is a transit that we all go through around 80 years old, and my dad is 82. And because it's Neptune, it's been happening for a while. And it's interesting to me that my dad's Neptune is in the third house. And the thing that we're dealing with is his mind. It's like he just, oh, number one, we're dealing with his mind. Neptune is sleep. It's like he just went to sleep. It was like my dad was literally asleep for 10 days before he opened his eyes again. So, it's affecting his mind. His mind is foggy. It's just like he can't speak. What does Neptune do? It dissolves. And my dad is a talker. You see, my dad has Mercury in the third house. All right. So my dad is a talker. He used to even do talk radio or whatever. And so Neptune going, in this third house has to do with talking and communication. It has to do with the mind. And what does this Neptune do? It is making everything dissolve. It's dissolution. So this isn't the first time my dad had this happen. Like earlier, we started noticing he had a surgery in August, and I went back and looked to see the movement of Neptune. I'm going to show y'all something that I typically do because the slower planets, you have to just, it is not much to look at with them because it's just going to be a little bit at a time. So January 2023, I want y'all to remember my dad's Jupiter, I mean, his Neptune is at 26 degrees of Virgo, which means if Jupiter in the sky is in Pisces, it's opposing it. That is like the hardest transit of all the transits. That is one of the hardest to deal with of the major ones. So you can see once we I use 2 degrees. Once we get 2 degrees, this was February. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't really know what was happening in February. I don't really remember anything. But you can see it's starting to intensify as the year moves forward. Now, do remember he had something going on with his hip. Let me move his chart over there. He had something going on with his hip in this ninth house. Crazy, crazy. Okay, that's why I wanted to look at this. In March is when Saturn moved into um, Pisces. And it was sometime this year, my dad's hip was just bothering him. It was just so much pain. My dad just turned 82 and it was so much pain. He was like, I want a hip replacement. Right. So, bam, that's why I wanted to look at it with y'all because I could see it because I get so stressed when I look. And so Saturn is about the joints. It's about the bones and, all that. And it calcifies things. Saturn can create, I mean, I know Mars creates pain. Y'all hear me talking about Mars on the regular, but Saturn for sure can create stiffness and it can create pain and tension or whatever. So I guess once Saturn moved into that ninth house, it started bothering his hip. Um, So, wow. Okay. So Neptune starts, this is April. Neptune is right by my dad's. It's directly opposing my dad's Neptune. I don't really remember anything like standing out during this time, but I don't remember too much right now anyway. So then it moved past it and then it went station. So my dad pretty much has been under this Neptune opposition Neptune since yeah, I mean like for a while. Well, the majority of this year. Okay. So I want to show y'all though, it's stationed in July and then it started moving uh retrograde. And here in August, it was on the 8th of August, my dad had a hip replacement. And then Neptune gets back directly opposite his Neptune. And that is when we started seeing my dad's brain. It was like, I would call my older brother, like, uh, dad called me in the middle of a sentence and he knew what he wanted to say, but I would be like, Dad, I don't know what you're talking about. So it started right around this time. So it's been moving backwards. When did Neptune go direct? Neptune went direct in October and it went direct on the 25th degree. So it's just hovering right there. That's how these slow planets are. It's like, baby, when you under the guidance and tutelage. mm. So this is what I'm going to tell y'all. I told my brothers yesterday. Wait a minute. Direct 25, 24. Why is it going? Oh, okay. Okay, so it went back to the 24th degree. So it's at the 25th degree. And I'm going to tell y'all my theory. Number one, I told my brothers, the doctor said y'all need to be in this thing for the long haul. The truer words have never been spoken. I don't see how. I mean, it's like we really need a miracle to come through for my dad. Because look at it's going to go back to the 26th degree in February, the 27th degree, and even the 28th degree is something that we need to kind of like, but it'll be better. I just noticed because I had the Neptune transit and it's like once it gets on that, like 27, then once it gets to 28th degree, I just remember it started getting easier the further away it got, is what I'm trying to say. Like in my dad's case, the 28th degree will be easier than Neptune on the 26th degree. But look how far out this is. Now, once it gets to the 29th degree, I can imagine my dad will be fully back online, but it's kind of like we need a miracle right now because it's not fun for him right now or whatever. So yeah, let me see what y'all are saying. Oh, good. Okay, I'm glad this is helpful. And that is one of the reasons I wanna show y'all that, I'm gonna show y'all something else, but that's one of the reasons I want to show this to you all because I want y'all to see, even though I can't make anything happen, Neptune really takes away people's you don't feel like you have any power with Neptune. I remember when I had this Neptune transit on my son, it was just kinda like, I just trust God. I trust God. That's what Neptune will do for you. And honestly, before I had even figured this out about his chart, that was the thing that I was saying is I really and truly just have to be present. It was like there's no answer coming to me. I feel like I mean, when I go home, I know what I'm doing is making a difference. Both times I've gone home, my dad has made significant gains. I think because, of course, I'm there in person praying, laying hands on them, um, and just doing my part, on the practical side. Um, but to be able to just turn this thing around, it's not in my hands. And I remember just being like, I don't know why I can't get anything. Well, Neptune will just make it just like, hey, you just gotta pray. His wife says that I don't know if it's his pastor too or just her pastor, but has been saying, read this scripture to him every night. Just keep reading the scripture. Read it, read it, read it. Something else maybe he's been telling her to do. I was like, yeah, because that's Neptune. Neptune. Oh, also, my Babalao friend, he said he gave me some Odu for my dad. And it was like through prayer and spirituality. I was like, oh, we're gonna have to do this on my dad's behalf because this is something that he can't do for himself. So he was like, "Yeah, you have to do that." Ia Ocean Funke had talked about clearing the head, which is totally on point for working with Neptune because there's all this fogginess or whatever. So I'm having to do that on me to represent my, on my dad's behalf or whatever. Um, but yeah, at the end of the day, once I was able to actually see this, I was like, well, I have to just make peace with I don't fully know what this is about. Oh, that's another thing about Neptune. The doctors are like, we don't know what's causing this. And initially it was so frustrating. But then I'm like, with anything with Neptune and Pisces, baby, secrets hidden, you can't see it. It's truly like you really and truly have to just lean and depend on the universe, the divine. Yes, or rework. Yes. Okay. I also noticed that Chiron is on his MC right now. Chiron is directly on his MC. Where is Chiron? Right here at 15. So Chiron is moving direct. So it'll be moving away from his MC. The MC is typically the career point. I really need to kind of focus on what does it mean for somebody. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all. I told my husband, I was like, my dad was in the military. So maybe some of this is like my dad dealing with karma before he passes on to the other side. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the Chiron is on his MC is maybe there was some wounding from the military and that's what we're dealing with. My dad went to Vietnam. Um so yeah. But what I noticed over here is in this is Lilith and Uranus has been transiting Lilith. Let's see here. Where's Uranus right now? 19 degrees. So it's within 1 degree of Lilith, which means it's been there. I don't know how long it's been there, but let's see how long. The 18th degree. My dad did kind of get hit up with that 18th degree. Let's see here. Let's just go straight to the chase. Uh Uranus, 18. This is December. Okay. 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 So is Uranus oh, it's retrograde. Poor dad. Oh my gosh. Let's see here. How far back is it gonna go? Okay, okay. It's stopping at the 19th degree. Okay, okay, okay. So it won't exactly go back on that 18th degree, but it's still within 1 degree. I'll take that for this is called a asteroid. Lilith is an asteroid. But Lilith is like, where were you disempowered? It definitely is something about creating a healing. Look at that. We talked about Lilith today too. Creating a healing of some sort. But Uranus is like shock waves. And so, yeah, wow. Because that's they were like saying it's encephalopathy. You can see these little twitches sometimes in my dad, especially before he woke up when his eyes were closed. His everything you could just see is electrical stuff going through him. So I did notice that. And let's see here. Pluto has already like yeah, my dad's ascendant is at 26 degrees, so Pluto already hit him up multiple times. He has survived this, and maybe this has been kind of beating him up. I don't know, but maybe this last time, and I don't know if Pluto went back to the 26th degree, but I do know it went back to the 27th degree. It may have just been like my dad's body is just like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. We've been doing our best. He's real strong. That's something that I've noticed. He's real strong. So I'm going to show y'all one other chart that showed me something about my dad, and that is the progress chart. The way I like to describe the progress chart is it is It is, wait a minute. What am I doing here? Let me just put this on here. It's your evolutionary chart because I want you to see your natal chart as like a clock. And like if I were to look at, I want you to think about the old school clocks with the hands on them. If we look at that clock at one moment, the very next moment, that hand, one hand, even if it's just the second hand, has already moved. It's not even the same time anymore. But that one time, which is the moment you were declared, she's born, boom, that is your natal chart. But your progress chart started the very next moment, the very next moment, because it's a wheel that's turning. This wheel that we see on here, it is always turning, always. So the moment you were born, snapshot, and then the wheel kept turning, right? So that's what the progress chart is. And that wheel turns multiple times. So and it's the planets, actually it's the planets within the wheel too that keep moving. So for instance, the moon, um, it changes 1 degree per month. So like my dad's progress moon right now is on 26 degrees. The next month it'll be on 27 degrees of Leo. That's interesting because he has his moon in Leo. Like this is the exact spot of his moon, or it's very close to this. It may not be 26 degrees, but it's interesting that his progress moon is the same as his natal moon right now. Very fascinating. Um, in 4 months' time, something significant is going to happen. I'm going to show y'all my dad's natal chart too. But what I noticed here in this progress chart is like a lot of times if I am trying to figure out what's going on and I don't see it in my natal chart, I'll pull up my progress chart to see what's going on. Number one, my dad's progress chart, I didn't even pay attention to this. He's a Libra, progress Libra. And that South Node is in that first house, which has to do with the body. Now, it hasn't actually gotten to his AC, his ascendant yet, but dang, uh, that's significant. But what I noticed in this progress chart is Uranus is exact opposite his sun, which he's a progressed Scorpio sun. Exact opposite. Been opposite of this progressed sun for a while. And like I said, it's this electricity. And where is Uranus and Jupiter and actually several planets? Over here in Taurus. Um, and then eighth house, this second house here with the Mercury and the Sun. These are all have to do with health and wellness. These are definitely, houses that have to do with your well-being. And then, that Uranus is that electricity affecting his brain, affecting the sun is the vitality. And everything is so slow moving. Last little bit, I promise, is the lunar return chart. Yeah, this is truly a time where I just have to just say my prayers and just trust. Um, his lunar return chart, this one started on the 3rd of December. I love the lunar return chart. I freaking love this chart. I use this chart all the time. It helps you to keep up with the month. What's going on with your month? Hold on. This is not the lunar return chart that I wanted to pull up. Lunar return. Natal. I like to bring up the natal plus the lunar return chart. Okay. There we go. Okay. So you want to always look. The blue part is the monthly. This is telling you what is the theme for the month. And on December the 3rd, my dad has a moon, a natal return in the 8th house. Every time I see 8th house, it's like, oh my gosh, this might be a month where you don't feel well. It's just something I noticed if you have a lunar return chart where the moon is in the 8th house, you may not feel well. And then you want to look for Cancer, which is the 7th house. Okay. Some new beginning happening for my dad. Yeah, especially when it comes to other people, relationships with other people. I think it's this, he's having to really depend on other people to help take care of him. Um, okay. So I want to show y'all, I'm going to move forward, and if you look, the next lunar return chart starts on the, I thought this was, I don't know, maybe I looked at the wrong thing because I thought, let me do January 1. I don't know why I saw different. I saw something different. Why? Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I keep forgetting to change the year because I'm like, that's not right. I'm like, that could not be right. Okay, so his next lunar return chart starts on December the 30th. Boom. Look at this. This chart is the rising sign on this chart is same as his rising sign. Moon in the second house. Okay. And then for Cancer, oh, okay. Yeah. So I told my brothers something significant is going to happen for my dad on the 30th. I pray we do not have to depend on this Neptune moving on or Uranus moving on. I pray that on the 30th, my dad just is like, they're like, we figured out what's going on. He's better. Time for him to go home or go to the rehab center. He's probably going to have to go to the rehab center also. Your dad is 84 today. Happy birthday to your dad. And recently shared that he thinks about action in Vietnam every day. Your dad was over there. Thank you for sharing that, Ia, because I really have wondered, is this something related to my dad? You know, just this past that he had in the military. Thank you, Minister Ocean Kimmy. Yeah, I keep forgetting to change that year. Wow. It's something that they have to reckon with. And hey, y'all, what's his name? Demond Wilson. I just want to make sure I have the right name because I will mess up a name. Let me tell y'all. I was watching him on Comedy Hype. I love Comedy Hype. And they were the guy who interviewed him, I think his name is John. I was like, Demond, I did not know a lot about this man. This man is, man, he was just acting like Lamont. This is a very intelligent, polished man. And it's hilarious because the guy from Comedy Hype was asking him some questions, and he was like, "I see you didn't do your homework, so I'm about to school you." I was like, "Dang." I was like, "All right, Demond, okay, let me clear my. I mean, like, let me get myself straightened up, and I'm not even there." So Norman Lear, the I guess you could call him a producer or whatever, died at 101 years old, and Scripps TV invited Demond Wilson to come and talk about Norman Lear. Now I already knew he was talking about Lear had stole some stuff from some people or whatever. I was like, well, I'm gonna have to do my research on all these shows. And that's what he was talking about on Comedy Hype. So I was interested to see what he was gonna say about Norman Lear on Scripps TV. I'm like, Scripps didn't do their homework apparently on this man because he had the only thing he said about Norman Lear, because they had just like this great little story about Norman Lear, about, how trailblazing he was. Okay, Instagram is gone. So I'm going to remove that stream. Remove. Anywho, let me see. Are y'all still here? Okay, y'all still here. So, anywho, they asked him what he thought. And the only thing he said was, yeah, he was a visionary. But I didn't have anything to do with him. He didn't have anything to do with Sanford and Son because the guy who was over Sanford and Son, him and Lear split. And he started talking about, I went off the Vietnam War and people, people didn't like us. I'm kind of just looping it back to my dad and Ia Ocean Funke's dad and anyone else, who had probably a father. I never really, I'm sure there were women there, but I don't really hear too many of them. But the troops that went there, he was like, when we came back, people hated us. And I remember my dad talking about this. And, I remember my dad having nightmares and stuff like that. So maybe it is something like that coming up, but I didn't even know he fought in the Vietnam War, but he was drafted there. And man, but yeah, brilliant, brilliant mind. But you can see here it says he doesn't like the New Age movement. Whatever. I'm not gonna lie, I got respect for that man after hearing about all of that. Okay, so thank y'all for indulging me uh on that. Thank y'all for indulging me because I feel like I have more peace about it now. And again, I hope that y'all are able to see what what's possible with astrology. So okay, y'all remember I was talking about resistance? Nahushta was saying something, one of them said something about resistance. And I remember seeing something here. So we're just going to take a few moments to look at it. Let me see what's going on here. Take that away. All righty. All righty. Okay, so let's just see what this says. When a negative thought comes up, at that instant, say stop. That would be that pattern interrupt. Immediately move on to, I'm going to say, a more positive thought, because sometimes it's hard to go from negative to positive. So you just want to move on to a more positive thought. Don't entertain the negative thought for a second. And if you do, you can have a conversation with it and just be like, what's the message that you have for me? Like, you know, you can say, because it's a part of yourself that might be bringing that up. It could be something in your subconscious mind is bringing it up because it wants you to be safe. And you might just have to speak to it and say things like, oh, I'm safe, what you resist persists. There is a big difference. Negative influences can come from friends, TV, news, your imagination, seeing things, and so on. When you notice these negative influences and thoughts arising, you should shut them down instantly. There is no resistance involved. But when you find that the negativity is so strong that you have to resist it, that you cannot simply go around it without using resistance. At that time, you should face the negativity head on. So he's saying what I was thinking. Do not resist it. Instead, bring it into your light, face it, and examine it with, this is the hard part, detachment. Try to look at it directly from a detached point of view to see what it is composed of, why it is arising, why it is affecting you that way. You want to break it down and understand it. What is powering it? Ask yourself why it is there, what it really is. By being mindful and watching it, studying its composition and finding its root causes and answers, you are able to overcome it. I love this. I've read this book so many times. I don't know if I fully remember this. But when you find negativity so strong, you have to say at that time you should face it. Okay. Bring it into your light, face it, examine it with detachment. Thank you for sharing you and your dad's story. This was an intimate moment and powerful lesson. Thank y'all. It is very challenging. So I appreciate y'all for letting me look at that with you all, because every time I look at my dad's chart, that Neptune, my brain goes foggy. And it's just because I'm so concerned. I want to relieve his suffering. So thank you for, it's like y'all held me while I was able to look at it and see what's really going on. So I think that this is important because I want y'all to think about the Mercury, Mars in, Mercury retrograde, Mercury Mars conjunction in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is belief and hope and optimism. And sometimes we're just not going to be in that place. That's part of being human. And so this is a remedy that you can use going into 2024. Is it's not all the time uh helpful to just dig down, like, I'm not going to think this negative thought, but in order, I think a lot of healing can come when we face it head on. I believe in journaling about it because sometimes once we start journaling, something else will come out through that journaling. So I love that. Okay. So you get there in your mind first. We climbed Mount Everest in the mind first. We got to the moon first. You learned to walk in the mind first. So get there in the mind first. So let's remember that for our New Year's intentions. Get there in the mind first. Take care, minister. You take care. Happy New Year to you too. If you wish to have a massive new house, have it in the mind first, in exactness and detail. Live in it in the mind first, and it will follow in the physical. How many of y'all have experienced that? How many of y'all know that to your core? Live in it in the mind first, and it will follow in the physical. It is something that a lot of us have heard about, but do we actually do it? What are you doing to make sure this happens for you? That is my question. Okay, try to ah, good one. The universe is all. The all is mental. Yes. I'm working on that for sure. So, how many of y'all have put together a vision board? I know yesterday, we were talking about the vision boards. I'm going to be honest with y'all. This thought never crossed my mind until just right now. But one of the beauties of putting together a vision board, and it could even be digital or it could be physical, is when you're looking for those images that represent what it is that you are calling into your life, you're going to bump up against where you're not there in your mind. And that is an opportunity for you to say, okay, well, that's something I need to write down that I'm going to be working on. Or it's like, oh, let me get rid of that right now so that it's free and clear and you are aligned with whatever that image is representing that you're going to manifest. So that's one of the beautiful things of putting together a visual. If you don't put together a visual, let's say you want to write out a story. It's like, what creative way are you going to connect with that which you desire? Because the subconscious mind, it thinks in pictures, sounds, and feelings. So maybe you want to um, turn on some music that invokes the feeling of, let's see here, health and well-being. So, you want to be at a certain place in your health and well-being. And you turn on some music and you feel so healthy. You remember when you used to listen to this song and you were doing all your workouts and you were preparing all your meals and you just felt the healthiest that you've ever felt. And you just allow yourself to feel that feeling of health, whatever it is for you. Because I know some people say vision boards don't work for them or whatever, but picture, sounds, and feelings. What is it that you can do to align with it and see, how do I feel? Like, am I totally 100% like calling this in? It's like no doubt in my mind. I feel it. I sense it. I know it's there. I'm good. And then if you're not, then you want to begin to create that experience where you are aligned with that vision. You're aligned with that feeling. Okay. These are the kinds of things that we want to do. We want to live it in the mind first. We want to be it. So let me not even just say live it in the mind. You want to be. So if we're talking about somebody who is calling in more health and well-being in some kind of way in their life, then it's like, no, I am a healthy person in this way, whatever that means to you. Okay. Because it's multiple definitions of how this looks. But I am that person first. I live, eat, breathe, drink it. And then we talked about values. You have to have the values of a person who is healthy. This is how we begin to live it in the mind first. We want to just like act it out. That's another way. We've been talking about Leo. Leo was in the full moon. Leo is in that Mercury and Mars meeting. Leo is acting it out. Okay, I'm going to act it out every day. Every day I am acting the part of that person who I'm calling in. I'm like every day. I'm living, breathing it. I'm already there. Body may not have changed, metrics may not have changed, but I'm there. All right. So then what you want to do is you want to look at the values of that person. Well, somebody who is healthy in the way I want to be healthy, and you might have to go model it. That's something else I encourage you to do. If you are struggling to do a certain thing, then you want to go find somebody who's already successful at it and you want to watch them. You want to look at them and see what is it that they do when they wake up in the morning. When they're talking, what are the things that they're talking about? Can you figure out what their values is? So if we're talking about somebody who is good at health, I'll talk about my husband. My husband is like, I don't even feel right if I don't get up and work out. I feel off center. So I'm like, I'll repeat that. I don't even feel right if I don't work out. I feel off center. I value my workouts because my workouts help me to feel centered. It's like you kind of have to listen to the way that they talk. My husband he'll say, I get on that scale. I don't care what's on the scale. I value the information that I get from the scale. So I'm gonna get on it every day. So that helps me to understand what is it that I need to do. Is like what I'm doing bringing me balance or not? Is it taking me in balance or out of balance? And so I'll say, okay, I value getting on the scale. Doesn't matter if I'm fully there or not, but I am going to begin to embody these values. Eventually, you'll have your own values, but you have to have that. You have to step into, I am that person right now. I'm not, I am becoming, we can become, but there has to be some sense of I'm owning it now. And then you want to own the values because the values are going to dictate what you believe. The values are going to dictate what you do. The values are going to dictate everything. Okay. So to me, living it in the mind first, that's how we can take it even further. Okay. Let me see here. I haven't made that one yet. I'll do the digital and put it on the desktop like you suggested before. Beautiful. Yes. Writing a story is good. Yes, yes, yes. Keita May. I use Canva. How you doing, Keita May? Yes. Okay, so did I give y'all inside of SAI? I may have given y'all some digital. I might just make these available because I've been talking about them so much. Digital vision board um templates, but you can go on to Canva. I'm sure you can find something in Canva if you want to look in there right away. Um, so yeah. Let's just do another paragraph or two. Try to avoid reading or watching bad news as much as possible. Even if you think it's good for your business, bad news creates bad images that interfere with your grandest vision. The world appears to you as you choose to see it. Bad news is often a self-fulfilling prophecy. Ooh, I keep up with the news. I don't watch a whole lot of news. I don't watch news shows or whatever, but some days it's hard not to look at the news for me because it's just something I'm interested in. But I have significantly cut back on, as I keep saying, on the news. So yeah, but it could be any kind of news. Maybe it's gossip. A lot of times people keep up with the celebrities or whatever, any kind of news. Okay, now you know that thoughts create your reality, but if you're trying to link all of your reality today with your thoughts today, you are making a mistake. Today's thoughts affect some things today, but some of the more solid things in your reality today are a result of many days of past thoughts. Some of the more solid things in your reality today are the result of many days of past thoughts. So that's good news. Because now I realize right now, the present moment that I am will eventually be the past, and I get to choose in this moment right here, right now, the thoughts that I choose to think. That's a word right there. Depending on the subject matter, focus and certainty, Thoughts take varying amounts of time to manifest in the physical. And again, that is good news. We don't get things right away. And that's the point that he's really wanting to make, that a lot of what we're experiencing, I remember hearing someone use the word habitual thinking. This is why we want to create the pattern interrupts. This is why we want to listen to people who actually challenge the way that we think. I don't want to listen to people who think and believe exactly like I do all the time, because it makes me start putting it's like, okay, let me look at what I'm thinking and feeling. It makes me really put it under a microscope to see, should I keep these thoughts? Should I let the thoughts go? So, but the good news is our thoughts don't manifest all the time right away. Sometimes they do, but I think this is one thing I'm going to say. Sometimes when we are very aligned, when we are open and we are clear, it is easy to manifest quickly. Sometimes when we are super negative, but we're in this phase, it's like I tell people, when Venus or Oshun energy is really awake, Heteru, if you want to use that name, if it's really alive for you, it doesn't matter if you're thinking something positive or negative, it can make that thing happen really fast. Some of us are like in a really Venusian time. You can really make it manifest fast, positive or negative. Okay. But for the most part, it is what you are habitually thinking about. It is what you're habitually feeling, is what you're habitually playing in your mind. The movies that we have, our mind movies, this is what is going to create over time what we see happening in our lives. Okay. So think about your thinking. I like that. Think about the things you think about. Watch your thoughts and be deliberate in them. Thoughts are timeless and forever. You can intend and create into the past just as effectively as you normally intend into the future. Most people never consider this possibility, yet it is powerful and a useful one. This ability lies in the timeless nature of spirit and in the timeless nature of the quantum energy packs that are building the blocks of the universe. So he is saying, and this is where I love timeline work, you can go into the past and you can change. You can change the effects of the past and how they're affecting you coming into the present, or of your ancestors, or of past lives. I've done this with timeline work. Okay. What has become physical can be changed by thought, but it is a lot harder than making physical what is not already physical. Let me see, how much longer do we have to go? Let me just do a little bit more. What does it mean to pray ceaselessly? I think this is a good one for us to look at. Consider this. It has been said that before you ask, it is given unto you. It has also been said that ask and it shall be given unto you. Do you catch that? Asking is not begging. You do not beg the source, for it is already given to you before you ask. Mm-mm-mm. You want me to tell you? That's because we live in a quantum world. Okay. All possibilities exist right now. That's why everything is ours. Huh. Okay. Begging and wanting simply gives you a lack of that which you beg and want. This is not just a spiritual ideal, it's also provable using quantum physics. The quantum soup literally contains all possibilities of everything now, here. In other words, that spiritual promise is also a scientific fact. Let's move on. It is also said you can do anything if you believe. It has also been said that whatever you put your attention and intention on to takes form. This is how you create things out of the quantum soup of pure energy, by attention, intention, and belief. Mm, we might need to put that on the vision board. I might create some word art with this right here. So I want you to think of one 2024 goal that you have. I'm going to use the word goal. And I want you to put your attention on that goal. And I want you to have intention. And you want to keep your attention on that goal. You remember soften, shift, stay. We talked about this. These are the 3 spiritual laws from this one book that I read before. Oh, soften, shift, stay. So that's that attention. Soften it from what you I don't have it. Soften it down from that. Shift, put your attention on it. That's the shift part. Put your attention on it. Stay. We're going to keep our attention on what it is that we desire in our lives. I want you to see that right now. I want you to feel it. Attention on that which you desire. You soften it on anything that any resistance. Just be like, I'm not going to just give any energy to the resistance. I'm just going to put my attention on it. Just look at it in your mind. Put it up high too. You don't want it to be down here. You want it to be here. You want it to be center stage. And then intention. What is your intention? Have the intention that this is now here. All possibilities, are available to us. You can do anything if you believe. Whatever you put your attention and intention on, it takes form. So put that intention out there. This is so. Live it, feel it experientially, sense it. See it in your mind's eye. It is done. It is so, right? And then have that belief. That's what I love about Sag. It's an opportunity for us to have that hope, that belief, that optimism around it, to have that faith. All right. And the belief for us can come from just standing on spiritual law. Spiritual law says that all possibilities exist right now. And so I have that belief that this is possible for me. Most of us are not asking for anything that is too great or too grand, unreasonable. That's probably the word that I should use. It's unreasonable. So why not believe it's possible for you, right? Ashe, Shamika. Okay. Many masters, teachers, and sages from all cultures and times have told us not to worry, to practice detachment, to trust in the mysterious workings of the universe, not only because the universe works with supreme intelligence, but also because you may not be aware of what your soul or higher self is choosing. Here then is what it means to pray ceaselessly. You have a desire, you will it to come into being, to manifest. You intend it wholeheartedly, clearly, focused, and with uncertainty. You pass this intent on to source in whatever way you know. Simple intention is not enough, although meditation stillness is more effective when you have time to do so. No, excuse me, simple intention is enough. And then you pass your intent and you become detached from it. Who's good with detachment? I know a lot of people kind of struggle with detachment. You watch it from behind the scenes without a desire that it happens in any particular way, time, or sequence. And because you know this works, because of your certainty and consistency, detachment and gratitude, it will take form in the most unexpected and miraculous ways. That is prayer. I know I highlighted a lot, but I'm going to do a different color here. Praying without ceasing is going through the whole day, every day with such focused intention for all your life's desires with certainty, detachment, and gratitude. Mm-mm-mm. I think I'm going to end with that. Healthy detachments. Very good. Very important, Shamika. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, y'all. Let's see here. Coach. I'm just going to do it under here. Well, I appreciate y'all for sticking around with me today. I know I've been on here forever. Oh, I didn't know y'all could see all that. Okay. Um, yeah, I appreciate y'all. This has been awesome. Whew. I feel better. All right, ladies. Thank y'all so, so much. I appreciate you. And I'll be back probably sooner than later. I definitely wanna get those readings done. I wanna put together that guide to give you some guiding wisdom for 2024. If you're a part of the membership, you'll for sure get it first, but also I'm gonna include a video where I talk about it. And then I'll be posting where you can download it for those who aren't a part of the membership. But thank y'all so much for being here today. I appreciate you. I am gonna give some music for us to. Oh, it's 11:11 where I am, y'all. Feel so special. Let me see here. You are so welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you, Queen. All righty. Love y'all. And I will see you very soon if I don't see you before 2024. Happy New Year. Thanks for being here with me in 2023. It means the world to me. I love y'all so much. So